Bowser is the classic villain of the Super Mario series, but lately the community has been obsessed with something different: Bowsette. However, should this new female version play a role in future games? Well, let's find out by comparing the two in a good old versus. Bowser, sometimes known as King Koopa, is the big boss of the Super Mario franchise and always fights with Mario. He has repeatedly kidnapped or attempted to kidnap Princess Peach with the ultimate goal of defeating our lovely mustache man and taking over the toad-filled Mushroom Kingdom. Now, normally he's a large, powerful, fire-breathing Koopa who leads the Koopa Troop and has a monstrous look and classic villain poses. However, lately a new version of him, her, has been popping up, and people freaking love it. If you look at the internet anywhere once, you will be flooded with fan art, animations, and even game mods featuring her. Now, all of this started with New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, which was shown in one of the recent Nintendo Directs. In this game, the Super Crown was shown, and using it, Toadette can transform into Peachette, a Princess Peach lookalike that gives her the ability to double jump, perform Peach floating jumps, and more. This is where it all started, and as time passed on, Bowsette was born, using the Super Crown power-up to transform into a Princess Peach lookalike. It stems from a comic posted on Twitter and DeviantArt by user IK92 on September 19, 2018. In the comic, Bowser uses the power-up after he and Mario are rejected by Peach in Super Mario Odyssey's ending, with the implication that the resulting Princess Peach lookalike got into a relationship with Mario. It became immensely popular, after which the name Bowsette was accepted by the community themselves. It became so popular that the peachette page on Mario Wiki became the most visited page on the website for a time, followed by associated pages. And the meme became the #1 trend on Twitter of Japan. The comic artist even went from just 78 followers to over 50,000 after posting the comic. Now, Nintendo has acknowledged the meme, but stated that they have nothing further to say about it. However, they have actually tried to make a character like this already. Because during the conceptualization stage of Super Mario Odyssey, Nintendo planned for Bowser to have his own version of Cappy. In one of the concepts shown in the art of Super Mario Odyssey, Bowser is shown using his cap on Peach, creating Peach Bowser. So with all of this, there's actually a chance that Nintendo will do something with this. The character is popular, and they even experimented with it. Because of this, I want to look at one thing. Should Bowsette become the main villain for once, or even multiple times instead of Bowser? Well, to find out, we are going to compare the two. A classic versus in order to find the best one. We will look at two major points: their story and boss fights. Those are the two most important elements of a villain after all. So let's start with our first point. Bowser was created by Shigeru Miyamoto as the villain of the Super Mario Bros. Series. Now, as a character, he is quite stale. You usually get the normal evil villain laugh and poses, and his motive is always the same and never really changes. So really, he doesn't have a lot to bring to the table, which already puts him at a disadvantage. He needs something new in my opinion after doing the same old routine for so many years. There needs to be something exciting. So here, Bowsette could come in and play a huge role. She could bring something new and exciting to the table. For example, that original idea they had to use her as some sort of story twist would be an amazing plan. This would bring something new and interesting into the series after years of rehearse. They could even use it for a completely new game. Just imagine a scenario where Bowser is turned into her from the start and alters him in a way, or he needs to turn back, creating a new plot. You could go anywhere from that point. The options are limitless and could make for a great story. Something that would be similar to the stuff seen in the Mario and Luigi series, but this time just as a Super Mario title. Heck, they could even go for Mario and Luigi. That could be a major hit as well, or really develop this new side of Bowser to make him more interesting. Although I think Bowsette will get more praise than Bowser if this would happen. So clearly she has the upper hand and takes this round. But before we go to our next point, I have to ask you something. Are you subscribed yet? If not, be sure to do so, and also click the bell button so you won't miss anything. I release 2 videos a week and it's all Nintendo, so it's gonna be great. That's out of the way now. Let's continue. Now for the next important element, the boss fights. Here, Bowser's position is a lot stronger compared to the story. For example, in Super Mario Odyssey, he has a really good fight that's a ton of fun. In battle, he has boxing gloves on his hat and throws the hat from time to time as well. Mario must then hit it with Cappy to stop it and flip it over, allowing him to put it on and punch Bowser. This is the main thing in the whole fight, but there are a lot of other things that he does as well. He will ground pound around the arena, send flaming shockwaves, throws large brick balls, and a whole lot more. And his second fight is basically the same, but with some new tactics. For example, when being attacked, Bowser will always use the spin seen during the final attack in the previous battle, spinning more and more as the fight goes on, and the spins create fiery shockwaves. Like before, he will use duplicates of the hat after being hit once, but now he uses a lot more. Another thing he may do is stand in the middle of the arena and breathe a stream of fire around it. And the bricks that he was throwing turn into flaming versions of his shell, which cannot be punched away. So he has a ton in his fights to experience, and this puts him in a great position against Bowsette. However, I think she can bring something completely new and unique to the table that Bowser can't. Elegance. Our big bad guy is always slow and a bit clumsy, while Bowsette looks more athletic. A bit like Princess Peach, who always floats around, is fast and flexible. This could be Bowsette's major advantage. They could design a fight around this that's more high-paced than Bowser's with less grand and more precise attacks. A good example of this would be the Koopaling fight scene in Super Mario Bros. 3, with more aspects to it, and another that would be interesting to draw inspiration from is the Stinkbug parent mini-boss fight seen in Super Mario Galaxy. He has fast attacks, but sadly enough slow resets, which wouldn't be fitting for Bowsette. Well, I think at least. Now I've come up with 2 possible attacks that she could use during her boss fight. First up, the classic Claw Swipes attack. In almost all of the designs of her floating around on the internet, she has either long nails or even claws. So using these, she could perform a plethora of attacks, for example a couple of fast swipes where she lunges forward, across the screen towards you. This would be a fast-paced attack that directly goes for you, and they could telegraph the attack by making her sort of prepare on the spot to do it. Now in later fights she could spice things up by doing the same, but instead of that, chasing you and doing it for a longer time as well. The second move they could use is something Bowser also does, but she could be faster when doing this. Spinning around the arena in her shell. Giving her more speed than Bowser would normally have also works because her shell is smaller, so it wouldn't be too difficult. It takes up less space after all, so she has potential for sure. However, I wouldn't say she would beat Bowser in this aspect. He still has really good boss fights. Because of that, I would say that Bowser takes it home. Even without her, his fights would be amazing. So in the end, it's a tie. However, I think Bowsette has so much potential that Nintendo should at least give it a try. Who knows what we would get if it actually happened. Thanks for watching, you lovely. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to click the subscribe button and the little bell button so you won't miss anything. And check out other videos if you want to. Yay!